Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Yoni and today we are going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch. So everyone has been talking about the Nintendo Switch this weekend because Nintendo revealed its presentation for the Nintendo Switch and it showed all the games for it on the Nintendo Treehouse Live of the demos. So I want to talk about the hardware aspect and the games year one lineup. So let's get right into it. I'm going to be talking about the price point and the release date first. The $300 price point, I think, was a sweet point for the Nintendo Switch. I think people will buy this because it has its gimmick going for it that you can play it at home or on the go while undocked. So I think this is a very good price point for where the Switch should be at. March 3rd is when the system is coming out, which I already pre-ordered, and I pre-ordered Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I'm very excited about that because I thought it was coming out late March or mid-March, so we're getting the system in less than 6 to 7 weeks, which is really, really exciting. The next thing I want to talk about is the Joy-Cons. The Joy-Con price is $80 for two, $50 for one, which is very high price for just two Joy-Cons or a Joy-Con. I think it's going to be hard to sell these because there's not that many multiplayer games that I see that people need to go out and buy these Joy-Cons, more Joy-Cons, unless you lose your Joy-Cons really early. So it's going to be really hard to sell this. I think I'm going to buy two Joy-Cons, maybe $80 each, at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on April 28th because I would like to play the game for people like a Super Nintendo way. Also, I'm going to be talking about the Pro Controller. The Pro Controller is at a $70 price point, which is really high. The reason why I think they put this high is because it has the HD Rumble, just like the Joy-Cons. So maybe that's why the price point got put up. I'm probably going to be buying this day one because of Legend of Zelda. I want to play that at home on a Pro Controller, just like I do with any other console like Xbox One. Say I'm playing Halo 5 online, I want to play it on that smooth controller. So I'll probably be buying that. I would have liked the controller to be at $50 or bundled in with the system at $350. So basically a $50 price point of buying that. That would have been nice to have right at the beginning, but I'm probably going to buy it for $70 right at the beginning. It's more money out of my pocket, but whatever. If I have more enjoyment playing Zelda, I have more enjoyment. The next thing I want to talk about is online play. Online play is free up until fall of 2017, which is kind of a bummer because Nintendo's always been notorious for having free online, even though if it's shitty. So it's kind of worrisome that we had to pay for online, which we don't know what it is because they didn't talk about it at the presentation, except for having voice chat. So I'm kind of worried about this, but hopefully the price point of the online in fall 2017 starts at low, and it's talked about that we get a free game for a month that we get to keep, like a retro Nintendo game, maybe like NES or a Super Nintendo game or 64, any of those old past consoles that we get for a month to play. So that's pretty cool, but I guess it goes away after a month, so a lot of people are mad about that. But say if it's just a story, like a one-player story game, I'm fine with that because at least we get that game free or something. We get something with the online play. And supposedly, the online is going to be hooked up with your smartphone. So I have an iPhone. You'll be hooking up with your Wi-Fi to your Nintendo Switch. And I guess you voice chat through there. So I think that's kind of weird, but it's a Nintendo way. So we'll see when it comes out, but hopefully it's good. And lastly, I want to talk about is the portability of it. And the portability I'm talking about is the battery of the handheld. The handheld can do 2.5 hours on the low end and 6 hours on the high end, which this is very low for a handheld system. And this has got people worried about the handheld aspect because people want to play their games longer. It would have been better to have it at 6 to 12 hours, but we get USB-C charger with it, which is very exciting because a lot of technology nowadays uses USB-C and it can charge it really fast. So say Legend of Zelda, it can do 3 hours supposedly. So supposedly when it's on the battery life, full battery life. But say you have a portable charger, you buy that, it's only $10, $15 to go out and buy that. You can play it longer. So I don't really see a problem in that. I never really play a handheld system more than 3 to 6 hours, so I'm completely fine with that. I know some people are not fine with that, but I don't think it's going to be a big downfall of the Switch. So now I would like to talk about the Switch year one lineup. So let's look at the launch day right away. The launch has Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Bomberman R, 1-2 Switch, Skylanders, and Just Dance. The only game I'm probably going to be getting out of this launch is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This game is probably going to be one of the best-selling games for the Legend of Zelda series because it's selling on the Wii U and the Nintendo Switch. But that's all it has it going. That's all the Switch has it going for it. Maybe Super Bomberman R and 1-2 Switch, but 1-2 Switch is selling at a whopping $50. So I don't think many people are going to be buying that. I think people would have liked it if it was $20 or bundled in with the system, kind of like Wii Sports, but I don't think many people are going to buy that. And Skylanders and Just Dance, you always have those on the system. So this is a pretty bad lineup for the launch day. But however, we get Snipper Clips in March, which is a pretty cool game. It's a $20 game, which what 1-2 Switch should have been. It's a puzzle solving game where you do it with you kind of cut out things. You can cut out your little partner, which is kind of cute, like the little paper things make little noises when they get cut. And I think that's actually a pretty cool puzzle solving game for $20 to play with multiplayer. Then April 28th, we get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which includes all the DLC for Mario Kart 8, a new battle mode for Mario Kart 8, which is Balloon Fight and some other things and some new tracks. We also get new characters like King Boo, Bowser Jr., and the Inklings, the boy and the girl. So I'm probably going to be buying that because I did not have that for my Wii U, and I always regret that for not getting that. My brother has it, so I play it at home, but when I'm at college, I never play it. So I'll probably be getting that. It has, in spring, the games that look interesting are ARMS. ARMS is basically a Wii Sports boxing, but more of a strategy fighting game that has more involved with it. You can move left, right with the Joy-Cons, and you punch using the motion controls, and you can block by doing this. And I think it's actually a pretty good looking game that I think people are actually be interested in the spring. We also have Splatoon 2, which we thought was only going to be a port on the Switch of Splatoon 1, but that's pretty cool. We're getting a sequel of a multiplayer game that we could play online with people. We also have the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. So I'm probably not going to get this game, but it might interest people to buy this game for third party support for Nintendo. And also you could play this on the go anywhere. So that might intrigue people too. Holiday of 2017, we have the biggest game, and I think this is going to be a system seller. I think a lot of people are going to pick up the system this holiday because we have Super Mario Odyssey, which is basically Super Mario 64 or Sunshine game. They said it a toy box Mario game, 3D Mario game, which got me thinking Super Mario 64, which is one of my favorite 3D Mario games ever. They showed New Donk City, the first city, because it has Donkey Kong references all over it. So I think that's pretty cool. I had Dixie Street, Cranky Street, and all that. They showed all the moves in a Japanese Nintendo Treehouse. They showed all the moves basically from Mario 64 and his hat moves. So that game is definitely going to be a system seller because Mario sells systems. And when people saw this, it's got so many views on its trailer already. I saw 6 million from the last time I saw it. So I think a lot of people are going to buy the Nintendo Switch for Zelda and Mario. But people might hold off until Mario. So I think that is going to be a system seller. 2017, all the games I think they're going to be good selling. Xenoblade Chronicle 2. I never played the Xenoblade games. I know there's 2 of them, but they look intriguing. A lot of people say they're really good. So hopefully this game comes out in 2017. Did not look that far in development, but if Nintendo says it's coming out in 2017, hopefully it comes out in 2017. We also have FIFA and NBA 2K, which are big third-party sports games. FIFA is kind of a slap in the face because it doesn't even have a year. It's just kind of like a remake for the Nintendo Switch. So I think it was just kind of a slap in the face, E3 being there and not really giving us their full go for the Nintendo Switch. So I'm not happy about that. NBA 2K, that's a really good game. I play the sports games. I know a lot of people don't play them. I'm probably going to buy that from Xbox One. I don't really care if it's on Nintendo Switch, but it's cool to see that it's getting that. We got Ultra Street Fighter 2, which is a throwback to Street Fighter 2. I'm probably not going to be buying that, but I know a lot of people like playing the Street Fighter games. So, and Street Fighter 2 was a big game on the Super Nintendo, so I think a lot of people will buy that. Sonic Mania. This is a game that I'm actually really excited about because I like Sonic. I'm a Sonic fan, but their last like 4 or 5 games, they kind of sucked. So they're bringing it back to their roots. So I'm actually pretty excited about this of the 2D Sonic era. And that's basically all the games that they showed for the year one, which there are good games like The Legend of Zelda. You got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ARMS, Splatoon 2, Mario Odyssey, and Sonic Mania and Xenoblade. But I would have liked to see more at the presentation. But one of the reasons I think they didn't show more, I think they are going to have more for this year, is because they're going to show more at E3. There's rumored to be a Metro game because Retro's rumored to be in development of a game, and we never saw that at the presentation. And maybe Pikmin 4 we see at E3. And basically the system is coming together to be the new 3DS and the new home console all into one. So they're probably going to be making 3DS games for this that they'll show in Nintendo Directs or at E3 this year. So I don't think that's all of what we're going to see from the games aspects from this year. So I think as of now, even not seeing those games, I think this lineup is actually pretty good for a Nintendo fan, and I think it's pretty good for anyone because Legend of Zelda is going to be one of the best Zelda games, I think, of all time. Maybe dethrone Ocarina of Time for 3D Zeldas. And Super Mario Odyssey looks awesome. It's bringing back to the roots of Super Mario 64. So I think this year for games looks very promising for Nintendo. I think the system might, it's going to sell well at the pre-orders in the beginning. Then maybe lack because there's not that many good games. And then maybe in the summer and holiday, it's going to pick up because you got Splatoon 2, and then you got Super Mario Odyssey. And whenever Xenoblade comes out, those are going to be system sellers. So let's just wait and see till E3. I think it's going to be a pretty good selling system for year one. And hopefully we need Nintendo to make a constant flow of steady, good games that they make and have third-party support. And hopefully we get third-party support throughout all the years of the Nintendo Switch. So that is all I have for my video today. If you like this video, leave a like down below. If you have a comment, please leave a comment about what you thought of the presentation or the Nintendo Treehouse Live. And please subscribe to me if you like this video. I do Nintendo news, I do video game news, and I do Survivor news, which is on CBS. So if you like any of those things, please leave a subscription to me. And this is Yoni signing off.